All right, this is Kat, and I'm gonna start with a symbol because the Lord says that go forth before your enemies with the shout of the trumpet and the sound of the declaration of our God reign. I was so discouraged because people say, "Oh, we were like mad and talking how you got censored." Well, you got censored because you would not submit to these dictators. Of course, I cannot submit because if you submit to these lying, cheating dominion and those filthy, evil politicians, they want power so bad. Come on. You want to really, really be dominated by the CCP, China? Are you kidding me? My family were killed by those communists. And anyways, this is why we got to open our eyes because we have been so sedated for so long, and the enemies is knocking the door. So instead of being frightful, I was kind of frightful because there are just so many stories flying around, like the health ranger, natural news, and for one thing, they said, we're gonna have these the 305, the battalion 305, which are the white hats. So I listened to all these stories, the Qs and the white hats, the black hats, and the war that's going on behind the scenes of a plan to save America. At first, my friend sent me a link. I listened to the Scott McKay show. I just go, oh, okay, I get it. It kind of sort of makes sense because of the corruption with the so-called deep state, the FBI, the CIA. They murdered Kennedy. Then I suppose they covered it up, and a lot of cover up. A lot of these murders are done by these intel agencies and so forth and so forth. So there were the generals, and I'm just going briefly what Scott McKay was saying, that they go, well, no, we got to save the world. There's your symbol. We got to save the country from falling into the hands of the communists. And they were going to take over with a military force. They said it was like 8 years ago or whatever. Anyway, to make a long story short, and then they go, well, but we'll probably shock the people, and we don't know how they're gonna accept it, that these government officials are so corrupt, and we have to overthrow them. So these so-called the Q, the general, they say the Q is quantum and all that kind of stuff. They got together and then they went and talked to Donald Trump and said we need an executive branch in order to throw down these evil people. Anyways, I listened to it for a while. Go, okay, I guess it kind of makes sense. But what happened is your mind is wondering, like, because you hear different stories, they're always changing. I don't doubt it one bit that there are a lot of things that are true, with especially pertaining to California, because I do see it that it is literally really taken over by China. You can't go to China and have like English signs, but you can be here, and here I'm talking about from Studio City, Sherman Oaks, Los Angeles, and down to Monterey Park. It's all Chinese signs, and signs that you cannot read, basically. And they took over all the Kmarts. They converted it into some kind of Mandarin markets and all that kind of stuff. So it is a form of invasion. But when I heard, the Q, and they were saying that Gavin Newsom already sold out to China, in which the Long Beach port was agreed upon between Chinese government and Gavin Newsom to allow them to have these shipments of containers that have missiles, and then they were ready to strike from the south, which is from Long Beach, the ports, which I thought, well, there might be some truth to it, because I remember the DNI recently, that's Ratcliffe, right? So Donald Trump appointed the DNI, which the intelligence director. Anyways, that he came out. He actually gave interviews. It was like a month ago. That he said that the so-called the GMO soldiers from China. He said that they already have experimental the soldiers that are like, I guess they're stronger, tougher, bigger, and they're not afraid to die or whatever. They can take so many bullets. Anyway, so it's not like a sci-fi. He actually, you can look it up on Time magazine or whatever. He actually talked about this. Anyways, so when I read this thing about the Long Beach, that's part of the concession or the secret deal that this Gavin Newsom made with the Chinese communists, the CCP, or their so-called Chinese Liberation Army, so they can invade through Long Beach. And then I also heard that the northern border, the Canada, which I believe it totally makes sense, that Trudeau is sold out to the CCP, and they have the Chinese troops there. They have made a deal. Canada made a deal with China to allow China to have military troops on the border. So in the name to protect their assets, Chinese assets in Canada, but it also make it very easy to invade. But so I sort of think that makes sense because, remember all these fire, the paradise, the burning of just California, stop at the border, don't go to Mexico. The fire doesn't burn Mexico, but it's there and there. Stop at Canada, it doesn't go to other states like Utah. So you wonder how come it's all fire here and burn the people and burn them alive. And remember, I thought it was a scam so that Gavin Newsom can declare this FEMA national emergency and get a lot of money, which is a scam because once they get the money, they probably just pocket it. Just like what happened to the $2 billion he sent to China to buy these so-called PPE, the ByteDance. They're so bold. They don't care. Because once people start to find out about it, this tax dollars, $2 billion to buy this so-called Chinese PPE. And somebody wrote about it. They said, why is it that we have to pay like $2.50 for some cheap Chicom masks? These are like, they just, at that time, they want to buy some mask and, some gloves and shit. Anyways, why can't you buy from Honeywell, which is like they were 75 cents a piece, so it didn't make sense. Anyways, the scandal went on. Nobody know what happened. It's like, oh, we got 200 million back, but there was a $2 billion contract. I'm just saying the ruthlessness of these people is unbelievable. So if God doesn't help us, because really, if they just have to print ballots, they just have to like send Dominion everywhere, which they're already doing that in California. We are without hope because we cannot. There is no recourse. That's why democracy. You have elections. If you rig the elections, there is no more democracy because this is how people settle dispute in a civil way. Because there's always different opinions. Some want to go that way, like to be more so-called the socialism or whatever. But majority of people, they don't. So the other side, I guess, colluding with the communists, and they just go, oh, okay, we could, we'll send a biological weapon to attack the United States, because they hate Donald Trump so much, and to ruin our economy, because Donald Trump was all about economy. And I can already feel the pain. We feel the pain, even with the damn shutdown that they colluded. The bad guys colluded, shut everything down. So that they can continue to rob us blind. Now, if Donald Trump is out of the way, oh yeah, for sure, they'll pay themselves so much. I mean, it was like, oh, you get your $600, so they go, well, here's a little bit of a crumb. Maybe like, because Trump was saying it's at least $2,000. They'll pay you $2,000, but they'll pocket themselves with damn kickbacks. That was, again, when I say that, you, as a citizen, should be able to go to the Capitol, but you can't. So it just shows that it's ridiculous. You're nothing but a serf. You know what a serf is, right? Anyways, So I was sort of discouraged because I feel like God has opened my eyes, and I know that in the end days we'll have tribulations and this fearfulness, there's rumors and the of war and the calamities and all that kind of stuff. It takes a hold of you like by fear. So fear is not from the Lord. And as you know, I mean, we're not joking. It's censorship to the max. It's all run by the communist China, the CNN, MSNBC, and Lincoln, who just boldly kicked me out. I think Amazon has something to do with it, because LinkedIn, you have your profile, and I don't even know why I pay $30 a month. So I don't need them, because God is my resource. So there is actually what do you call, like, no human recourse. Like, I'm not gonna sue those people, but God is going to avenge for us. That's what he's going to do, and I have to believe. Otherwise, we lose heart, because I was about to lose heart. A lot of people, you know what I mean? Like, like, you can't, there's no way that you can fight this machinery they're coming at you. Like the Twitter, they got rid of Linwood, so now Linwood, it was on Parler, they got rid of him. Anyways, I just got a little bit of encouragement, because Linwood, if you don't know, Linwood, Linwood, he's a man of God. He speaks strongly the word and the truth. People thought, well, he might be a little bit out there, because he was very bold. When he was on Twitter, he was using like very, what do you call, severe terms when he said that Mike Pence is a traitor. And he said John Roberts, he's a pedophile. And, a lot of the things that you thought it was crazy, it all came true. Anyways, so now I just got a text message, not from Linwood, but somebody said go there, and he actually said the 17th, January 17th, 17 is the day of Elijah. 17 is the day of Elijah. Now, the days of Elijah, I suppose, I just have a vague idea, because when I went through the Bible, I didn't read like very clearly, because some of the things are sort of a little bit of a riddle to me. But I know Elijah is a prophet. So, it's not like, oh, you're a prophet like this. God doesn't work that way. God speaks through a donkey. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you just have to speak. You don't have to be, oh, thus says the Lord, or, blah, blah, blah. You can say, thus says the Lord. So God can speak through me, because you just practice. When you're born again, you'll have the Spirit in you. Anywho, I was sort of down and out, because I was like, gosh, we knew all these things, the evidence is so-called, the injustice, it is so obvious. And there is just nowhere to turn, because everybody is corrupt, meaning the court is corrupt. So go back to that analogy again. I watched a little bit of the playoff games, and I see that how diligently they were looking at one little inch of your foot, did it get out of bounds, and then watch it like 10 times, talked about it. 3-4 people would probably get hundreds of thousands of dollars, and they talk about it on TV. I mean, if they're so diligent, if you remember that they were criticizing Tom Brady with so-called the deflate gate, if they were so diligent with that tiny little bit of so-called PSI, the pressure per inch, they say, oh, if your football is less than, like, let's say 100 PSI or whatever, then you're cheating. But with that kind of tenacity, they wouldn't do. They was just like, there's no case. The court says, oh, you have no standing. There's no case. So the whole world has just gone rotten. And that's what you think, there's no hope for us. And I start to feel that the big dark clouds, and you're just like, you fasted, you prayed, but my God, what is it that these evil people, that they still go on and prosper? Why is it there is no, Lord, no recourse? but this is good that Linwood actually had a little video. So I'm just with the permission. It was a song that was sang by the Marine Corps in Pendleton. And Pendleton is really not far from me. I'm just gonna try to. I just jotted down the lyrics. So I'm just gonna sing it because what the Lord says that your battle is won in the spirit, and it's not against flesh and blood. And when you praise, just praise, not crazy, but in the old days, that when David go out and fight the battles to the Philistines, the music team, the musician go out first. All right, so we come by faith, and this was a great song. If you have YouTube, go look for the Marines sing the days of Elijah. I'm gonna attempt. So I just jot down the lyrics. These are the days of Elijah, declaring the word of the Lord. And these are the days of your servant Moses, righteousness being restored. And though they're the days of trials, of famine and darkness and sword, and still we are the voice of the in the desert crying, prepare ye the way of the Lord. Behold, he comes, riding on the clouds, shining like the sun at the trumpet sound. Woo! And lift your voice in the year of Jubilee. Oh, out of Zion Hill salvation comes. So that lyrics is just that was so very soothing and healing to my soul. Out of Zion's Hill salvation comes. Boom! And there's no God like Jehovah. 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 I might not have the perfect, the notes and everything, but excuse me, I just saw it and learned it. There's no God like Jehovah. There's no God like Jehovah. There's no God like Jehovah. Okay, the last chorus, I guess. Behold, he comes, riding on the clouds, shining like the sun at the trumpet call. Woo! Lift your voice in the year of Jubilee. Oh, those Zion Hill salvation come. Oh, okay, so that's it. I just learned it, and I want to share with you. I forgot whoever that the creator of the song. We're gonna give them a little shout out, and thank you for being there to encourage me, and thank you for the Marines, the soldiers that put their lives on the line. So we just believe and beseech the Lord that the righteousness of God will shine like the sun, and all the darkness, the rats are scattered. Okay? That's my encouragement for the day. The days of Elijah. Bye.